Hello and welcome back to Children's Reading Cove. Let's get into some Shakespeare. We're going to be reading The Merchant of Venice. Let's meet some of the cast members. Here we have Antonio, a Venetian merchant. We have Bassanio, Antonio's young friend who is in love with Portia. Here's Portia. She is a noblewoman of Belmont, and she is in love with Bassanio. There's Nerissa, Portia's maid. There is Shylock, a Venetian moneylender. There is the Prince of Aragon, who is Portia's suitor. And then there is the Prince of Morocco, who is also Portia's suitor. There's the Duke of Venice, who is a judge at Antonio's trial. And the scene is Venice in the 16th century. I will buy with you, sell with you, walk with you, and so following. But I will not eat with you, drink with you, nor pray with you. Shylock. The Merchant of Venice. One afternoon in the city of Venice, two men stood together on a bridge over a canal. The older man, Antonio, was a successful merchant. His companion was his friend Bassanio. Antonio had just told Bassanio a scandalous piece of gossip, but Bassanio did not seem interested. "What's wrong, Bassanio?" said Antonio. "You've hardly spoken a word to me." Bassanio peered down at the canal. "Last year I visited the town of Belmont. I had dinner there with a man who had a beautiful daughter named Portia," he said. "She was wise, witty—" "And you fell in love with her?" interrupted Antonio. Bassanio blushed. "I've been thinking about her ever since," he confessed. 2 days ago I learned that Portia's father has died, leaving her all his fortune. She is one of the richest women in Italy." Antonio slapped his friend on the back. "Then go to Belmont and woo her," he urged. "Rich suitors are flocking to propose to Portia, even princes from foreign lands," groaned Bassanio. "What chance would I stand against them? I can't even afford a new suit of clothes." "How much money do you need to woo Portia in style?" Antonio asked. 3,000 ducats, replied Bassanio. Antonio lowered his voice so that passers-by would not hear him. "If I had the money, I would lend it to you," he said. "But at the moment, I haven't got 300 ducats, let alone 3,000. All my money is invested in 4 ships that are voyaging around the world. When they return to Venice, I'll be a wealthy man again. But until then..." "So you can't help me?" Bassanio cried in despair. "My reputation is still good," said Antonio. "Find a moneylender who will loan you 3,000 ducats, and I will sign a bond promising to repay him." Bassanio beamed. "You are the best friend a man could have," he declared. While Bassanio and Antonio were talking on the bridge in Venice, in Belmont, the lovely Portia paced to and fro across a richly furnished room. Her serving maid, Nerissa, watched from a chair in the corner. In the center of the room was an oak table, and on it were 3 caskets, one made of gold, another of silver, and the third made of lead. Suddenly, Portia stopped pacing and stamped her foot. "This is so unfair," she grumbled. "I'm an intelligent, educated woman, but can I choose a husband for myself? Oh, no. The man who marries me must select one of these stupid caskets. If he picks the right one, I have to be his wife." "That was one of the conditions of your father's will, miss," said Nerissa. "If you hadn't agreed to it, you wouldn't have inherited his money." A far-off look came into Nerissa's eyes. "I know who I'd pick as a husband for you," she said. "Who?" demanded Portia. "That Venetian gentleman who came to dinner last summer," Nerissa cooed. A faint redness crept into Portia's cheeks. "His name was Bassanio, wasn't it?" she said. "So it was," exclaimed Nerissa. "There was something special about him, and if you ask me, he thought you were special too, miss." Portia's cheeks turned a deeper red. "Nonsense," she said. "Bassanio has probably forgotten all about me." End of part 1. Join me again soon for part 2.